and since then has made London her home. She earned 2 undergraduate degrees at UWO as well as a master's at social work at McMaster. Most of her formal career is spent in child protective services, while also spending 3 years working on a provincial training project that was intended to help keep Ontario's children safe. Jennifer has also been an active member member of the community, and in 2013 she was one of the proud recipients of the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal for her work in the community. Today, Jennifer is a supervisor at the Children's Aid Society and opened a private practice and professional speaking business. In 2016, she became part of the faculty of Fanshawe College, where she provides leadership and guidance to students in the School of Human Services. Jennifer recently published a book called Finesse Your Life, Mind, Body, and Spirit, as well as the Finesse Your Life Journal, which is available here for sale, but she'll tell you a bit about that. Also, these works have had amazing reviews and continue to help individuals manage their lives effectively and with purpose. So I can say that we're all here with a purpose today, and that's to help somebody else in need. And Jen will tell you how to help yourself if you're in need as well. Okay, like I said, this is Jennifer Slay. Let's give her a little round of applause.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
Good afternoon.
So, what is something that all of us have done today? Every single one of us have done this probably a few times, many, many times. Yeah. And all of those things are basically decisions. We make decisions every day, all day. We made a decision of what white outfit are we going to wear today. Right? We've made a decision if we were even going to come here today. Right? We make decisions all of the time. And being of service is just one of those decisions that we decide to make. And it's probably one of the most impactful and meaningful decisions that we can make in our days. During a time of turmoil, Muhammad Ali said that the service is the rent that you pay for your room here on earth. Mahatma Gandhi said that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Even Jesus said, to whom much is given, much is required. So based on these quotes, could we not agree that service is important?
Yes.
This is going to be interactive. I'm going to ask you lots of questions. So let's have a resounding yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. But you know, I'm preaching to the choir because we're all here today as true united sisters to help others. Right? The mandate is to provide single mothers with the tools that they need to empower themselves to build wealth within their families, meet the basic needs of their children through the provision of food, provision of health care, and education. What could really be more important? What could be more important than making a decision to help your sister be able to feed her family, to seek and obtain health care, to provide them with the education so that they can gain information about their surrounding world, so they can form opinions, so that they can have points of view, so they can have the ability to decide if they're going to create, if they're going to invent, if they're going to serve. When a woman has the ability to provide these things for their children, she has a sense of peace about them, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So can we agree that making the decision to serve, doing what you are doing today, is important work?
Yes.
We're helping to change the lives of generations and generations to come. But I'm going to argue that there is one thing greater than serving others. Can you guess what that would be?
Taking care of ourselves.
What's that?
Taking care of ourselves.
Oh my goodness, yes. That's
Number one.
exactly it. The decision to serve oneself. Now that might sound a little bit selfish, but I'm going to tell you exactly why. For the last 20 years I've been a social worker, and I've helped thousands of people through some of the worst things in life: trauma, abuse, loss. And it wasn't until I went through my own loss and had to work through my own trauma that I realized that being a little bit selfish was actually a means of being selfless. See, I had gone through a divorce, and when I was growing up, I had parents, and my parents have been married for nearly 50 years now. So for me, marriage was it. That's the ultimate goal. That's what you do. You stay together. And so when I went through the divorce, it was like, now what? What do I do now? I failed. I failed at the one thing that I wanted to succeed at in life. And so I went through a depression, and I had to make a decision of what I was going to do. Because I knew the day that I was driving, and I had this thought in my head, if I turned the wheel ever so slightly and just rammed into a pool, I could just end this pain, this never-ending pain that I'm feeling. And I knew something was wrong, because if you speak to Shelley, that wasn't me. I'm the smiley one. Get up in the morning, hey everybody, right? So I knew something was wrong, and I had to make a decision. I made a decision to get myself some professional help. And then I made a decision of how am I going to live my life? What am I going to do? And one day I was sitting at my kitchen table and I was watching Biography. Do you guys remember that show Biography? Yes. So I was watching Biography, and it was about Tina Turner. Do we all know Tina Turner? Yeah. Proud Mary, keep on burning. That one? Okay. So Tina Turner, she was on, and they talked about her and Ike and the success that they achieved, and everything looked really great from the outside. They had their own TV show, they had their music, they were touring. But what people didn't know is that Tina was going through physical and emotional abuse at the hands of Ike. And one day she decided, that's it, I'm done. And she walked away from it. She made a decision to walk away from all of it. And if you know her story, when she decided to come back, she achieved success that even she probably didn't realize she could achieve. So I knew when the announcer said, and Tina Turner, at the age of 43, started over again. The phrase started over again stuck with me, because I knew if she could do it, then I can do it. And I made a decision, okay, am I going to stay stuck and feeling down and depressed, or am I going to do something to change my life now? I made the decision to change my life. So as Shelley said, I'm a motivational speaker, and I get called to talk to crowds to help them make decisions to move past their stuck. I provide people with the information and the strategies that they need so they can take action and implement change in their lives. As a therapist and a life coach, I work with individuals to help them manage the difficulties that they face to help them move forward. I help keep them accountable. And these are my passions, to provide people with instruments for change. I want people to be happy. I never want people to feel that pain that I was feeling. I needed peace. So last year, I decided to take my expertise and partner it with a business consultant. Her name's Jennifer Gimbury, and she wanted to be here today, but she couldn't. And we created what's called Thrive Experts. We basically combined our work in psychology and human performance to work with businesses and organizations to focus on their staff so that they can enhance their bottom line. So what I mean by that is that we knew that if people are truly happy and feeling fulfilled, then they're going to do good work. And good work meant increased job satisfaction, increased profits, longevity in the job, and good service. So the question becomes, how does one thrive? Well, there are three things that everybody basically wants. They want to be happy, they want to be healthy, and they want to thrive. Now, these are the things that TUS, this organization, is attempting to provide to single mothers. The ability to be fulfilled, healthy, and thriving. Now, these are things that are easy to say, and I can say things to inspire, but to actually implement it might be a little bit tough, or at least people think it's tough. But what does it mean to be happy? means showing pleasure, to be content. What does it mean to be healthy? Free of disease? But what does it mean to thrive? Because thriving is somewhat subjective. For some people, thriving will mean they have excess money in their bank account so that if they want to do a last-minute splurge, they can, without a worry. For other people, thriving might mean watching their children grow and then watching their grandchildren grow, and if really blessed, watching their great-grandchildren grow. And then for others, it's just going up that career ladder and getting to heights that they just didn't ever imagine. It's all of those things and so much more. So what we did is we studied these people and decided, okay, how does one thrive? So I'm going to need 6 volunteers. Shelley, if you can hand these out to whoever volunteers. Don't worry, it's not hard, you guys, I promise you.
You going
Just
now?
need 6 volunteers.
Oh, I like that. You're ready to go.
Come on, you try. Come on.
And you're going to see in front of you a little index
My
card.
other one. I know you'll do
On
it.
that index card,
Come on.
I want you to write the word thrive. T-H-R-I-V-E. I want you to write it down the left-hand
Who else?
side.
Who else?
Each letter is going to
Thank
represent
you. Thank you, Yvette. There's a pen
a
over
word
there.
that's going to help you to be able
I have
to
2
thrive.
more.
You got it.
Okay. One more, last one.
She's over here.
Look at this.
Oh, okay. I'm coming.
All right, so when I say your letter, all you have to do is say what the word on the back of your paper says. Okay, so when I say your letter, you just shout out what it is that that word is.
Okay, sorry.
Can you repeat the
For,
instructions?
Anna,
Yes, no problem.
what do we have to do?
Okay, so what I would like everyone to do
I didn't realize it.
is on the left-hand side of their index card, write the word thrive, going down vertically. And when I call the letter on your paper, for those of you who are volunteering, I just need you to say the word that's on the back. Okay, is that clear for everybody? All right. So T, trust. 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 The most important trusting relationship we can have is not with somebody else, but with ourselves. So write the word trust down on your paper. We have to learn to trust ourselves. We have to be able to trust in the moment, and we have to become students of ourselves. We have to trust that we have the abilities to accomplish what we need in order to succeed in the endeavors that we wish to pursue. Okay? Now, we go into more depth with each of these, and if you want that, you're going to have to get the book that's going to be available. I had to do the plug. Okay, H. Say it loud.
What?
Happiness.
I'm really trying to pretend like you're so quiet.
Happiness is a choice. We decide whether we want to be happy or not. And it all depends on how we choose to react to situations when they happen to us. So we need to know what puts a smile on our face. I remember a time that someone asked me, Jed, so what are some of the things that you like to do? And I hesitated. I was like, And the reason for that was because I was spent so much time being a great mom, being a great daughter, making sure that I was working and doing well and moving up in my career, doing all these things that I forgot. What do I like to do? Right? So it's really important that we figure out what puts a smile on our face. And then we have to ask our question, why does it put a smile on our face? Because when you can understand the reason behind something, you can start creating plans to move forward, putting those things in your life so that you will succeed. What are the feelings that are generated when you experience those situations? So essentially, you're just becoming very aware of yourselves and your emotions. Okay, R.
Resilience.
Loud.
Resilience.
Resilience. Now that's been a very popular word over the last few decades. Study after study after study has been done to figure out what makes a person resilient. Researchers are fascinated about how can one person go through all these hardships and come out stronger, and another person go through the same hardships and they're broken, they're stuck. What's the difference? See, we all face hardships, and resilience is basically our bounce back ability. Our ability to make a decision to come back from adversity and continue to lead our lives. The mere manner in which to develop resilience suggests that we have to face adversity. have to be uncomfortable. We have to experience discomfort, hurt, and failure. But you know, that's just life. Really, the decision is how do we manage the disappointment and the failure and the hurt? How is it that we react? Do we focus on the result and give up? Or do we reflect, analyze, and get back? I invest. Investing in ourselves leads us to feel inspired. And when we're inspired, we become influential. And when we are able to do this with integrity, we create a space where we can grow within ourselves and we can bring other people with us. Investment could be in the form of education, counseling, workshops, traveling, it could be anything. It's basically making the decision to do the necessary things to feed your mind, your body, and your spirit. V. Vulnerability. Being totally and completely real despite our surroundings takes guts. Allowing others to see us succeed is easy, but allowing others to see us mess up and also be okay with that is freeing. Opening ourselves to potential scrutiny, it can be scary. I mean, I hate to fail. I don't like not succeeding, but it builds our resilience and it also helps build our self-worth. Because the more vulnerable we are, the more accepting we are of ourselves. And E. Excellence. There's this book called The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Has anyone heard of this book? 4 Agreements? So basically it's a book about living our lives with a certain code of conduct for attaining personal freedom and true happiness. The 4 agreements are to be impeccable with our word, to not take things personally, to not make assumptions, and to do everything to our very best. Basically, to live in excellence. When we do our best, then we can be more forgiving of ourselves when things don't happen the way that we want them to. Because the guilt and resentment that comes when we don't do our best has brought many people on a therapist's couch. Trust me, I know this. The statements like, I wish I would have, if I had tried a little bit harder, if only I could have. Those are statements that we need to try and avoid. And the way to avoid those is to really work in excellence in everything that we do. So let's recap. Let's recap Thrive. What's T? Everybody. I didn't hear that. Trust. The H.
Happiness.
R.
Resilience.
I.
Invest.
V.
Vulnerability.
E.
Excellence.
When we create this within ourselves, we are then able to create this outside of ourselves. By deciding to thrive within our own lives, we're living by example, and we're inviting peace. We are deciding to be of value, to be of real service to ourselves as well as to others. To be of service to others is one of the most fulfilling acts we will ever decide to do. But to be of service to yourself is the most important act that you will ever do. So is there any reason why we can't make the decision to thrive starting right now? Thank you so much for listening. Appreciate your time. As Shelley mentioned, I did write a book. It's right there. And it's called Finesse Your Life. And it's a book that really talks about how to take care of the mind, body, and spirit connection. Because we are comprised of all three. And there's no one area that's more important than the other. So in that book, at the end of every chapter, there is a little exercise for you to do so that by the end of the book, you have a roadmap, a plan for how to move forward so that you can accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish in your life. There's also a journal that's back there, and that journal is a 365-day journal that has gratefulness in it. It also has mandalas in there. That's adult coloring to help with meditation and journaling, as well as daily affirmations. So please take a look. I'd love to be able to speak with you about them. Yeah, there's the journal. And like I said, in the fall there will be a book on Thrive. Thank you again for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, everybody, for participating. right now, I think we'll go around and see if anybody needs some drinks because it is warm, and maybe refills on the table treats. Okay, so we'll be. And maybe you would like to pass this around as well.